Hi guys, it's Carisa and I am filming my week 18 video for you today. I got a little behind with my videos just because of work. It is wedding season, so it has gotten busier, even though I've tried to prevent being too busy. And outside of work, once that obligation has been completed for the day, I have next to no energy or motivation for almost anything else. And some days it's all I can muster just to get through the work day. A lot of that is because I'm so tired. I'm just so tired all the time. I feel like I look tired. Last night, for example, I know I'm currently in week 19, but last night I went to bed, I think around 9. I was so tired. It was everything I could do to stay up till 9 at least to wash my face and brush my teeth and take my medications and do the things I need to do at nighttime. And then I went to bed and I didn't wake up until 8 a.m. And that's really late for me. I actually think I probably would have slept later if I didn't hear Mike walking around getting ready for work. So you would think that if I had slept that much that I would be well rested, but I spent almost the whole rest of today fighting feeling really sleepy. And I don't like to take naps if I can help it, at least naps longer than 20 minutes or so, because then I will not sleep at night a lot of the time. So, but there are days where I know my body just needs it, and I just listen to myself. I just stop everything and pretty much rest. I do it in 20-minute increments. And if I have the luxury of it, sometimes I'll give myself an hour. That's usually the longest I'll let myself sleep. And I feel a lot better. If I sleep too long, then I feel worse. And I feel like I can't recover from it. So that has been challenging, but it's kind of funny to me because I had the luxury of having all that energy in the first trimester. I almost felt like I was drinking caffeine. That's how much energy I had. Like more than even when I was drinking caffeine. I don't know if that was just being so happy and anxious about the fact that the pregnancy was occurring, or if that doesn't matter at all. I don't know. But here I am in the second trimester and I am tired. Week 18 was exciting for us because we had our anatomy scan, and we didn't know it was our anatomy scan. In fact, no one ever told us that was what it was until I was in the depths of it, and I was like, they're doing my anatomy scan today. And which it doesn't even matter. I didn't need that information ahead of time, but I think I would have liked to know. I don't know. That's just information I would have liked to have. So I had watched my nieces a couple of days before, and they are 4 and 2. And they are bigger children. They take after their father. He's really tall, and they have real long torsos, and they're in a high percentile, each of them, for their ages. So I overdid it. I watched them, I think 2 days in a row last week, and I was picking them up like normal, and the older one is kind of going through a phase right now where I think that she feels competitive with the younger one because she's going through potty training, so she gets a lot of attention for it. And so I was trying to almost favor her a little bit because the younger one didn't care. She was occupying herself well enough, and I could tell that my older niece really wanted the attention. So she was sitting in my lap a lot. I was picking her up a lot, and we were playing, and I used to roughhouse with them a lot, and I don't do it as much anymore because I just can't. I can't physically do it. But even with the limited amount that I thought that I could handle, I must have overdone it. And so the next day was my anatomy scan, and I was in just full body aches. I can't even describe it to you. I almost mentioned it to them, but I could tell that it was most likely a result of the previous couple of days and being with the girls. And it wasn't anything really strenuous, but it was just enough. Just for example, when I went to give my older niece a hug goodbye, she lifted her legs off the ground, so that I would have to kind of pick her up off the ground a little bit. And I wasn't expecting her to do that, even though it's something that she's done many times with me. And I felt it all the way up my back. My back was like, no. I knew that that was most likely what was wrong, but it was almost like I was inconsolable. The pain was just so rich. I don't know how else to describe it. It was just intense and everywhere, and it would never stop. It was relentless. And a lot of it was in my belly, but not really my lower belly. It was sort of up by my rib cage and my stomach area. But I felt it in my legs and my arms, and I learned a lesson that day. I learned, that I have to really, really be a lot more careful, even though I thought I was being pretty careful. So I went to the appointment, and I was already in quite a bit of pain, just having these just consistent body aches all day. And then it turned out it was my anatomy scan. So the ultrasound tech was really reaming on my stomach with that wand or whatever it's called. She was really gouging around because she was looking for all of these specific measurements and all of these different things. And she even asked if we wanted to know the gender. She had forgotten, I understand. She has asked us in the past if we knew, and we told her we did, but she had forgotten. And she said, "Do you guys want to know the gender today?" And I said, yes, I'd like to just have it confirmed, but I shouldn't have, because that required even more gouging and grinding and pressing on my stomach that I already could barely handle. But she did confirm that our baby is a girl. She said that she weighed 8 ounces, and I joked with Mike that she was half an ounce heavier than my Ironman Coke. And what that is, is that when we went to go see Civil War in the theater, they were giving out free Coca-Colas, and so I got an Ironman Coca-Cola. This is a 7.5 ouncer, and I'm not really planning to keep it. It's not like a collector's item or anything, but I don't know, I love me some Tony Stark, and I just feel like I need to, I don't really drink regular Coke, and this would be a huge treat for me, but I just feel like I need to hold on to it for a little longer. So I don't know, I'm being weird about it, I guess, but it's been sitting in my cupboard next to my teacups, and that was a good point of reference, at least for Mike, because when I told him that, he was like, "Oh wow," it was something he could really relate it to. We did get some video, which I'll enter here so that you can see it. I feel like we had better quality video this time, even though it was still some very short clips. And I don't know that I feel as strongly that she looks as much like me anymore as I thought in the past. Her profile definitely looked similar, but it wasn't shockingly close to what I felt like my own face looks like, the way it was last time, which is fine. It was so good to see her again, and to just know that at least in that moment, just, everything's good, and it felt so great. We did get this picture, and that's her foot up there. She was holding her foot a lot, pretty close to her face most of the time, and we saw her hands by her face a little bit at one point. And then we also got this picture, which was like, thanks, I guess, because she looks like Skeletor, and that's a straightforward view of her face, I guess. I'm just gonna take her word for it, that my baby's not gonna look like Red Skull. So I received this frame in one of my pregnancy subscriptions, and I really liked it a lot, but I didn't love the picture we got again for it. And at the time I had it hanging on my weeks countdown board. It's actually a count up right now, but I had it hanging there. So I just took a screenshot from the video and had those printed at Walgreens, and I had a couple extras printed so we could put them in the frame and have Mike take one to work. And I don't know if any of you get what I mean when I say this, but I know that that's her, and that when I look at this picture, it's not just like a sample image in a store display, or it's not like what just came with the frame, but it's so hard to see that and feel like she's I don't know how to explain it. There's something about seeing this picture that it doesn't feel real, but it does all at once. It feels like it just does so much to my head. And when someone asks me, I had someone ask me at a restaurant if I was expecting, and I'm not used to feeling like it's real yet, I guess. And I don't talk that much to strangers about it, but when I do, I feel like I'm lying to them. And I know I'm not. I know it's real, but it's just, I just don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that happens, but it might just be me protecting myself, or feeling like it's so hard to believe, or feeling like, you know what, when it really gets me is when I wake up in the middle of the night. The first thing that comes flooding to my mind is my belly, because that's where I'm feeling, you know, like I have to pee, and my belly feels big, and sometimes it feels a little bit achy, and it's such a weird sensation because it almost feels like it was a dream, and I'm thinking of something I dreamt and it's not real. And so it's so weird to talk myself out of that. Like, no, this is, look at, it's still real. I don't know. I know I'm not making any sense. But I just find myself so grateful for every single day. And I feel like the time is passing so quickly. Week 18 was just, I mentioned it last week. Week 18 felt like it was barely even here. And I know that that's going to continue to happen most likely until, I don't know, until like a month before my due date probably. But I'm just trying to be really present and take in every minute that I can, because I just feel like I can't even, the time is just sliding right through my hands, and it feels like I just can't believe it. One thing that has also helped with that is seeing merchandise changing in stores. There's a lot of Halloween candy out already, and a lot of fall merchandise, fall decor. But Christmas, if I see Christmas stuff, it makes me so happy. It just feels like, I think normally this time of year is very bittersweet, more than any other time of year. For some reason, to me, I'm not one of those types that loves fall. I mean, I like it. I don't have anything against fall, but I feel like fall is very short for us here, just like spring. We get the more extreme seasons for longer here, so it's mostly just winter and summer here. But there's something about when summer's changing to fall that feels really good and really sad. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's something that caused that in my life that I'm not connecting it to, but there's usually sort of a bitter chill about fall happening, and it just feels almost unsettling. I don't even know how else to put it. But I do look forward to the season, and I do enjoy the fact that so many holidays are coming up, and you know, I have loved ones whose birthdays are around that time, so it is a good time, but it also feels sort of weirdly sad. But I haven't caught any of that this year. It doesn't give me that like strange sting the way that it normally does. And I feel like this year has gone by really, really quickly for us. And I know a lot of people have claimed that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but they claimed that because it's an election year, the year goes by faster. But it's definitely flying by, and I feel like seeing that stuff in the stores is like, it makes me so excited and so happy, because the countdown and like the weeks and all of the obligations that we have between now and then, we have so much to do. Oh my gosh, just even around the house, we have so much to do that it is overwhelming. And I feel like there's never enough time in the day, there's never enough time in the week. And I have no idea how we're gonna accomplish it all before then. Actually, I do know it's gonna be Mike, because he's amazing and he gets so much done so quickly. But seeing that stuff makes me really happy and really excited. And it'll be even more strange when I start seeing things for holidays after the fact, for holidays that are going to occur in the new year. I think that'll be even crazier. Another thing about going out is I notice that I get stared at a lot in public. A lot. And I know that I'm big. I know that I'm a big girl. And I know that my pregnancy looks a lot more obvious, and maybe even a little bit more questionable because of my size. I can tell there are people who want to say something to me. I can tell there are people who don't understand what they're looking at. There are some people who even look disgusted with me for whatever reason. But I feel the presence of people's stares a lot, and it's really strange. I don't even know. I'm sure that that's probably a thing, but I feel like I've never really heard other pregnant women say that. I've heard them say when a stranger will touch them or ask if they can touch them, which I feel like I don't even know how I would react. I guess it depends on the person and the circumstance and everything, but I don't know. It's really strange to feel like everywhere I go, I can feel people staring, and sometimes I'll look right at them and they're still staring at me. And there's something really strange about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. I actually had this weird paranoia. Okay, stick with me here because I swear this was something I genuinely worried about. So because I'm so big in the belly and the bottom, the bottom sixth of my stomach, if you were to cut it into pieces, is mostly just loose skin from my weight loss. I have this hanging portion at the bottom of my belly, and there's still fat there, don't get me wrong. It's not just skin, but that's pretty much what it is. It's very firm at the top, and then there's this small amount of lower portion that's very loose. And I'm sure that's gonna stay that way. And if I try to suck in my stomach, it feels like I can do that. It feels like I can hold it in. Not for very long because it starts to hurt, but if I were to kind of take a deep breath in and pull my stomach in, I feel like it moves quite a bit. So I started to feel weird about it because if I ever did that in public, I'd feel like people would look at me funny, and it was like I was pretending to be pregnant, or if it was like that Beyonce controversy where they're like, she's wearing a fake belly. I don't know. So a couple days ago, I looked in the mirror. I stood in the mirror and I lifted my shirt up and I tried to suck in my stomach, my best effort ever, full blown suck in my stomach. And it only moved a quarter of an inch. This belly is real. This belly is here. It's not, if I try to suck my stomach in, I am not going to make a significant dent where people are going to be like, what's going on with her stomach? But thank goodness for LuLaRoe Perfect Tees, man. They are the most flattering and comfortable and easy thing that I can wear right now. And I've been scouring eBay for it. I probably own 20 of them now. I just go on eBay every now and then and see if there's a pattern I like. Unfortunately, a lot of times they're really ugly, but it's like survival mode. There's no shirt that's long enough to help cover up my stomach. And I feel like I'm not ready for maternity clothes that do fit really closely. That's okay. I love my belly because I love what's in it, and I don't even care. And the last thing about week 18 that was exciting, unless it was the end of week 17, but I don't remember, Mike and I started a baby registry. My friend Lisa Marie TTC had suggested that I make an Amazon registry and just always, if I think of something, just put it on there so I'll never forget. And I didn't even consider that. I thought that was so smart. I had been keeping a list of notes in my phone. And I, just from walking around a few different stores, I knew that there were certain places that I wanted to register for certain things. So Mike asked me the other day, he's like, when is it okay for us to do our registry? And I was like, I don't even know. I don't know if there's an etiquette on that. But no one has to know. It can be private. He's like, well, then let's go make one. So we went to Babies R Us. We did that first. We also plan to go to Bye Bye Baby soon and Target. And I know there's a lot of places that have registries, but I feel like I like the fact that there's accessibility. I know that there's a reward program with Babies R Us, the cashback program, and I think that's fantastic. But I'd rather not just register for a bunch of stuff at certain places to qualify for the rewards. I'd rather just actually register for the things that we really want. So we're going to, I think tonight we're going to go look at Target, which is exciting. That'll probably be the smallest in-store registry, but I'm not sure. And he really enjoys it. He thinks it's a lot of fun, and he was a real Scrooge when we registered for our wedding. He said registering for things was rude and we were being selfish and it was embarrassing to him. And now he realizes that it's something that's very much common and that people do. And he understands now that if we register for things that we don't even intend necessarily for people to buy for us, if it's still on our registry, that we can get a discount on it later. So it's good for us even if nobody bought anything off the registry because we get the discount. So he's figuring it out, and he was getting a little bit scan happy with that gun. It was pretty funny. I was catching him scanning some really weird things. Sorry, Mike just called me. So that's it for week 18. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.